Hi guys, this is kbunschoten, the president and founder of Certum Solutions here outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. And as you may notice, I'm not in my usual environment. I'm actually working from home. My family caught COVID a few weeks ago, so it's been kind of going through. But I had a really cool meeting this week with a client who alerted me to something I actually didn't know. So I went down the rabbit hole. A lot of times I do these videos and I love doing these videos, but for those that don't know, we grew a lot the last few years, and a few things slipped through where I wasn't aware this was available. And one of those things was the enhancements they made to alternate vendors. I know that we've done alternate vendors in Enterprise, that I was aware of, but I had a question come up, well, can we have different MPNs for different vendors? And I was like, well, I wish you could, but I really don't think you can. And then we were kind of poking around, and yes, you can. You totally can. It's under the alternate vendor screen. And so, you know me, I kind of went down the rabbit hole, and I've been studying up on it today. And I wanted to do a short video to go over that with you. But again, I apologize for, my lack of, environment, because on top of everything, it's very dark in here. And I'm like, I love a bright room. So, um, anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So I actually did take the liberty of launching my QuickBooks Enterprise. For those of you that may not know where I am right now, I'm going to go ahead and close my windows. Okay. I'm going to hit no there. Okay. And so now I'm going to open up my home screen. So this is what you see when you originally sign into QuickBooks. For the purposes of this video, I am in a sample advanced inventory file. And then to look at this, you want to start out on your item list, okay? And the one that I've been working with is my AN spring, my anchor spring item. That's the one I've been playing with this morning. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So say that I've got this spring, this AN spring item. It is an inventory part. So one thing you want to note is that this will only work for inventory part items. Does not work for services, does not work for non-inventory parts, does not work for assemblies, which actually surprised me a little bit. But when you think about what an assembly is, it makes more sense. Does not work for other items, only works for inventory parts. Those items you buy, you keep them in stock, and then you sell. Okay, very basic type of item. Okay, when you're looking through your item name and you've got your MPN, this is what you're most familiar with. Here's my MPN. Well, what if I'm not using a UPC, like a universal part number that would be the same with whoever I'm with, but I'm using an MPN that's unique to that manufacturer, and I really want to track that MPN per the manufacturer, okay? And also note that in this file, we have unit measures turned on, and so that's going to come into importance here in a moment as well. Also to note, the cost field, when you generate this cost field, you're going to note that here in a minute when we get to the purchase order part. Okay, so let's look at our alternate vendors. I've got my preferred vendor, and you know how it is with sample files, they don't always make sense. We have that set to Anderson Hardware and Tool Supply. I'm going to hit alternate vendor and manage. Okay, well, the first thing I see here is an Excel sheet, and I'm going, I want to play with this. I want to play with this because that's what I do. I cannot, you cannot, this is reference only, okay? It does list your unit measure here, it lists your vendor name, the quantity and the order. Obviously, we've not done a quantity and order, and we've not done any of that here, so these are not generated. If we had purchase orders or bills or anything for these vendors, that would have populated, okay? Then you've got your price here, and then you have a lead time, which is also going to come into play here in a minute, because I know a lot of us see lead time and I go, 6 weeks, this, that. You have to use days when you're importing your lead time. Okay, that's important to note. I got to slow myself down because I talk too fast. Okay, I'm a little stuffy, so I apologize. Anyway, vendor PN. Obviously, these don't make sense. I was just playing around, but your vendor PN's here. You've got your notes, which is free. But again, I can't change it here because we're going to get to that in a minute. Okay. And then the day that we added this, today's the 12th. So you're going to notice I did this on the 12th. We have our preferred vendor here, Mr. Anderson's Hardware, but we are allowed up to 4 alternate vendors. I've only got a few selected here. So we've got Kaler selected. We've got Franz Fastener selected. Okay. I'm going to save and close now. So everybody's seen this, okay? You've seen where I got to this, right here under alternate vendor, Okay, there you go. All right, I just want to make sure everybody gets a good look at the screen. We have barcoding turned on, so we get that neat little barcoding field, okay? So you'll notice I'm in my item list. I can't change this information in my item list. I can look at my inventory site info. I can look at all this other stuff. I cannot change that. So there's a secret, okay? It's a secret. You have to go to this one feature, which I actually do like a lot, add, edit multiple list entries, okay? And you go here to vendor items. Okay. Now, for those of you that do not use add, edit multiple list entries, if you don't know about this feature, it's like one of my favorite features with Enterprise. Why? Because when we're doing implementations, a lot of times we have to have access to a lot of the database or the tables. So we use import tools, right? Those tools, you have to map them. You have to hope they go in. You have to look for your error logs and then fix things and then try to push it again. Or if you're really good, and this takes practice, you go through, you get that done, you get that success log, and you're like, yes, I am the queen today. But I'm usually not the queen. I'm usually the one going, let's try this again. Okay. Um, so that being said, the neat thing about your add, edit multiple list entry screen is you can copy and paste from Excel, which I know all of us are using Excel, and I use it with my import tools too, but you have some mapping and some little utility stuff you go through and lots of little options that can hose you up if you don't know what you're doing. So with this, it makes it so simple. It's like your middle ground. Like it's not chicken pecking everything in, but you can, and you don't have to, if you don't want to, just click stuff here and enter it. You can do that too if you want, okay? But you can paste from Excel, okay? Actually, this is making me think I need to do another video just on this, okay? So you'll notice here, so this is the only place you can update this. Okay, it's under add, edit, multiple list items. It's kind of like that thing, and I'm getting off on a tangent, where you're doing warehouse workers and you can only do it in the one place, and you have to make sure that even if they're an employee, they're also set up as a vendor. Drives me nuts. That was the cause of a couple gray hairs until I figured that out because I'm not always the smartest cookie. Anyway, I'm going to pick one of our vendors on this item, and you'll see that I preloaded some info. Okay, now to preload that info, let me see if I can get to it. What I did was, and this may work for you, this may not, I exported my item list. Okay, and this is just for playing around little parts. So if you have your vendor catalogs, you have your information you want to bring in, definitely the biggest thing to remember when you're using this screen is this vendor part import is not going to let you add new content. You'd add that on the other tables first. This lets you refer to content that's already in QuickBooks. And you'll get what I'm saying when you go through it the first time. And I'll show you, I'll show you an example of what I mean. Okay, so actually, I'll do that right now. If I do AN Spring, and I try to bring this in QuickBooks right here, okay, but I put like 321 next to it. Watch this. It's in red. Why? It doesn't exist in QuickBooks yet. Some of your fields, like when you're doing your customer updates and stuff, it'll let you add new things there. It won't let you add it in this vendor catalog. It has to be in there already. Okay, so that's important to remember. But I went ahead and populated this stuff here. I made sure it was all in the system nice. You can see the ones that have per unit measures on there. They're coming in. If there's something that doesn't add up, what I love about this sheet is that it won't let you mess something up. Obviously, if you're really committed to it, you can. But as long as you're like looking at stuff and paying attention to detail, you're okay. Where I also got hosed up was my lead time. I was like, 2 weeks, doesn't work, has to be in days, has to be in days. And the cool thing about this video is I actually made a simple little template with my notes as comments in the Excel template, and I'm attaching that to the blog article that I'm going to do along with this. Because one thing, if you don't know me, you'll learn about me. If I find out I don't know something, I want to know everything about that thing so fast. And now that I've slowed down for a minute, sometimes sickness does that to you. It makes you slow down and kind of take stock of things and get your breath back. I'm waiting for the breath to come back. I still get winded going upstairs, but it lets you kind of zen out for a minute. you get to play around a little bit, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to hit, before I hit save, I'm going to hit customize columns. I want to show you this. For those of you that aren't familiar with the screen, you can add and take away columns, but some of these are required. Your item name you have to have. Your item cost you don't have to have. Your VPN don't have to have, but if a unit measure does exist, you have to have that. You can tell here, okay? So your vendor type, if it is an alternate, whatever, you can change that here. Okay, so I'm going to save changes and I'm going to pretend I'm doing a purchase order. Don't let me forget we're doing the AN spring. Okay, close. And I'm going to leave that open. So I'm going to go over to my vendor center. I'm going to pretend I'm entering a PO. I really need to order some of those springs. Okay, so I'm going to pick Fran, Miss Fran with her fasteners. And I'm bringing up that PO and I'm putting my AN spring in here. Okay, I've got this. I see my rate and I'm going, oh, you know what? She's not available right now. Something's happened. Either something's happened or she's out with COVID, whatever. There, for some reason, supply chain issues. I can't order from Fran right now. So let's see who I go to. And I did that too fast. You click the button next to rate and it's going to bring this up. Okay. Similarly, this is not related to this video, but if you're wanting to look at what you have on hand or what's on your different inventory sites, you're going to hit the other button under quantity. So hit your button on rate. And this is going to show me my AN spring and who I have linked to this with different quantities available. This is important. So this all links back to that table you just filled out, your vendor table or your vendor item detail table, right? Okay. This is super important to remember. You see how I'm going to pick Fran from my fastener and it says right here that her price is 10. Okay. You see that price 10? I want you to notice something. Hit close. That rate doesn't say 10. Doesn't say 10. Why does it not say 10? Because it's defaulting to the cost you have in the item itself. That will not change. So if I go to, and I want to say, I want to buy this from Fran, okay? Remember this? I have to buy this from Fran. What I'm going to have to do is, I'm going to say, Miss Fran, which you can tell I didn't put a ton of thought into this, is selling it at $10 instead of 50 cents. Why would I want to buy from Fran today? I don't know. Maybe she's the last manufacturer on the planet. All right. Then it's going to say, do you want to update your item record with your new cost? I'm going to say no, because I know that that's a fake number that I put in. But for today, I'm going to do that for Fran. Okay. Because we really need those springs. All right. So I've got my PO there. I've got that coming in. And then I'm going to hit save and close. And we've now chosen an alternate vendor and we've brought everything in. But some of the things that are important to remember. Okay. Again, you can update existing items and bring in existing item product catalogs into that vendor item screen. You cannot add new ones. You need to add them on the relevant tables first. Okay. Make sure that you're following all guidance with QuickBooks on their practical limitations. Okay, at all times on the fields. I have a link to that in the template. I'm attaching the blog article. No template really exists. I don't know why they don't do more downloadable templates in QuickBooks, but they don't do that many. So I went ahead and made one for you. And again, I put it on our website. Okay, when you're doing your cost in your purchase order, it will default to the item, not to your vendor. So you have to remember that and do a manual switch. Okay, trying to think what else. The unit of measure we already talked about. I have some things that I put in, and then if you come back here and you hit your alternate vendor, it's got everybody listed here. You can't type away in there like you want to because it looks like Excel, but it's not really. Same thing within you're in the PO. I can look at it. I can't type. It drives me a little bonkers, but you can. But it's okay. We're okay because we know where to do it. All right. So if you have questions, again, I spent some time on this today, but I'm sure like you guys are so good at saying, well, you didn't talk about this. I know. I don't think of everything when I'm going through here. So just put a comment under the video. If you like this kind of content, you'd like to see when I upload new content, hopefully with less stuffiness, subscribe to the channel. If you do like this video, if you could do me a favor and hit the like button, I do actually pay a lot of attention to that. You know, I love doing videos and it's Like some people like those likes on Facebook, some people like those likes on LinkedIn when I'm on YouTube and I go, oh, I got another like. I love it. And my subscriber counts when they go up. Absolutely love it. You think I don't notice? I do. I look at it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's helpful to you. I hope that if you're new to QuickBooks Enterprise, this is hopefully a game changer, especially with the supply chain issues we've had the last few years. I'm back deep into study and I'm going to be doing some more videos and hopefully won't be as rusty. So I appreciate your patience with me and I look forward to talking to you. If we can do anything to help, just reach out to us at help@certumsolutions.com and I'll put our contact info in the description as well. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great day and stay COVID free and talk to you soon. Bye bye.